Welcome back, everybody. Today we got a little bit of everything. Some mail calls, some purchases, just some random stuff we're going to do today. Thanks for stopping in. Welcome back to the RuralStacker channel. Thanks for stopping in, neighbor. Alright, so first things first. Ever since I got this little solar battery backup, people call them a generator. It's not really a generator as much as it is a battery backup, but I digress. I've been using it, and I like to use that over a generator because it is silent, can use it inside, and I use it at night while I sleep. So we lose power. This is what I've been using for the last year and a half. It's been working great. Plenty of battery life. If I don't watch my electricity when I'm running it, it'll last 7 hours. Easy. If I ration my electricity usage, if I will, it'll easily go 24, 30 hours. So I've been using this for the last year and a half anytime we lost power. And earlier in the week, we lost power. It was the middle of the day. I didn't feel like dragging this thing out and hooking it up when I have a generator sitting on my porch. For that reason, I haven't used that generator in 2+ years. And when I went to use it, I had a couple problems. A lot of the air lines and fuel lines were dry rotted. So I'm going to jump into fixing that. I got to change the oil in there, replace the air lines, and get her back running. Did run. Had it on propane. Ran for a little bit. Luckily, I just ran it a few minutes to get the fridge cooled back down. Did end up using this for a couple space heaters. Keep it chill off because it was like 22 degrees that morning. But we're going to get that back in service. Alright, so we're on the porch here. This is where the generator usually sits when we're not using it. I'm going to clean that out. I usually feed the cord up through the plastic here, and this back feeds into my electrical panel. We're going to clean this dirt out of here. Got the generator loaded up in the little K-truck. Take it down to the garage. And this little bird's nest, little side note, a couple finches have been living in this thing for a few years. I need to get rid of that Gore-Tex and these camo overalls. But the bird's nest here is built onto the side of the house using these as its support. I can't bring myself to get rid of it. So as long as they keep coming back every spring and winter, I'm just gonna leave them there, I guess. Alright, that's swept out. I'm putting this box here just so that I remember to come back to that. It's on today's to-do list. Be in the back half of this video. But got that all swept out. Go fix the generator and put her back. Okay, taking a little bit of a detour here. This is an underground spring that very old. It's at the base of this massive oak tree. And we're up on my brother-in-law's property. His house is right there. My house is that tiny little thing over there. And this spring runs most of the year. Kind of dries up. Not dries up, but doesn't run as well in the summer. And it goes down to where my garage and greenhouses are. The problem is getting this water out of this valley. So what I did was down on my property, we'll go down there, I dug a little pond, and we'll pick up down there. Got to turn on the pump to pump over to the swale because right now everything's running. The pond is full, so it's just running down to the road and down to the neighbor's pond. And I want to capture as much of that water on the property as I can so that it helps saturate the ground going into the summer. Alright, we are back. on my property now, which we were just right up there, the base of that big tree. So it comes down, goes in the ground, comes back out. And right here is a fairly small pond. I don't know, maybe 1,000 gallons or so. And right now I have a sump pump in there with a float that will run basically anytime it's overflowing. And I got this pumping over into my swale. Time out. It's tick season. Gotta get that thing off of me because they are nasty this time of the year. As the water flow slows down, I will swap this sump pump out for a little 12 volt DC pump. I'll put 1 or 2 of them in there that will run off of solar power, but for right now there's so much water coming over the top that need a little bit more power than the little solar panels can give. So yeah, and this, I got a hose that runs up to a swale. This part's for Pang. It is not quite a foxhole, but it can be used as one, I guess. This swale runs along the top of my property. This is on a hill. I mean, I know it doesn't come across in the camera very well, but this ditch here is on contour, so perfectly level the whole way across the top of the property. We'll go down to this side here and pick back up. Okay, so we are at the other end of the property now. So you can see this ditch runs parallel, or level, I guess, on a contour line the whole way across the top of the property here. And the idea is that I pump the excess water into this ditch and it slowly absorbs into the ground and stays level the whole way across the top of this hill, and then eventually saturates down the whole plot here with all of my fruit trees and everything. So across the top of this berm that I made whenever I dug that ditch, you plant your fruit trees so that they don't dry out, and any water runoff that comes up from the top of this hill during massive rains comes down in here, slows down, and instead of just running down to the neighbor's pond, it slowly saturates into the ground, thus making any sort of drought or anything like that. Makes my plants more resilient, and the water's just running anyway, so might as well capture it and store it. The best place to store water for your fruit trees and everything is in the ground, and that's just what we're doing here with excess water. I've tried siphoning up from the head of the spring. It works okay, but it doesn't work as well as I would like it to, because usually it siphons faster in the slower months than it can replenish, so you got to constantly keep starting and stopping it. I find the sump pump works great, and then whenever it really slows down, just using that solar panel hooked up to a couple of them small pumps you can get off Amazon for like $10, works really well. So got that running today. Also, at some point we are going to here's another water runs down this hill, and I did another little pond just to capture some more water. That one's really shallow. It's more of like a little nature pond for the deer and rabbits and animals and stuff. But below this swale here, it's right there, are a lot of my fruit trees and bushes. But what we're going to do today is also started giving away some of my peach trees. Seen them before. Gave away about 20 of them, which for scale is 6 of those squares. So I probably have another 40 or so in there. That's going to be planting some of them out. Each one of these trees and everything has a bunch of trees and shrubs around them. But what we're going to do today is I got this hose here. We're going to hook up from that pump, and this is just a little soaker hose that comes around the greenhouse. Waters this one. Once that gets pretty well saturated, we will move it over to the other one. Do the same thing. We got a bunch of our daffodils coming up. They're usually the first thing that comes up and blooms in the spring. So planted them out around the base of a lot of the fruit trees and plants. So they're scattered out. They look nice, all the little yellow flowers that come up in the spring. Everything's starting to wake up. Here's one of my peach trees putting on new growth. One of the other things are honeyberries. They're usually the first thing that comes back as well. So they're doing good. All the leaves, piles of leaves everywhere, are just to help insulate them over the winter. So we do get some cold winters here. Blueberries, Asian pears, more peaches, but honeyberries are by far one of my favorite things. They grow very easily, very winter tolerant. Over here in front of this greenhouse, these are all my thornless blackberries. Deer do a number on them each year, but that's why this looks kind of crazy. But they're all thornless. Make blackberries, about the size of a $50. So they're pretty cool. Yeah. It's kind of hard to see with the depth on the camera, but there's easily 300 different fruit trees and bushes in here of all different sizes. I started with the left row and just kind of worked my way out, and then in between the trees. So this here is a tree, and then I got a fig right beside it. In front of it is a blueberry. Over here's a honeyberry. All around each one of them I have garlic and onions that are planted, some rosemary and thyme, got some oregano. I also have some vines growing up them. This is a goji berry, so that climbs up this apple tree here. Got some cages to protect from the deer. Also have some currants. Got black currants, red currants, white currants, josta berries, all kind of different things. But yeah, you can pack a lot of food into a small area if you do it right. So more figs, fig there, and about 5 foot away, another honeyberry. If I go the other way, I have some strawberries as a ground cover, so they'll spread. What do we got here? Another apple. It's doing very well. Another peach, apricot, plums, all kind of different things. So, yeah. Spring's my favorite time of year. Serviceberry that I enjoy watching everything come back to life. See what survived, what's putting on new growth, just everything's waking up. So yeah. All right, back to the generator fix. Okay, this is one of few generators that I have, dual fuel. I've had this thing for probably about 10 years. I've only ever ran propane through it. Yeah, you get a little less power when you run on propane versus gasoline, but propane makes it a lot easier to start. Don't have to worry about carburetor gumming up. Propane stores pretty much indefinitely, and yeah, it's nice and small, compact, but it runs really reliably on propane. Does what I need it to do. So I drained the oil out already, so the oil's changed. And the next thing is I gotta fix these airlines. They're in really bad shape. So this is what happens when you don't use something for a few years. And this was good eye-opening to me to go through and double check everything, fix it up. When I actually went to need this, I had not trouble, but obviously this was a problem, caused it to not run very efficient. I also had the generator on the porch. The propane attachment hose was down here in the garage. The power cord that I use to backfeed into my panel, that's a different output plug than the battery one that I showed earlier. So the cord for this was in my shed. So not only did the equipment wasn't serviced and ready to go, but all the different parts for it were scattered all over the place. Wasn't a big deal, but it's not ideal. If I needed it in an emergency, I had the battery one in the house there that could have used, but it's just something that got overlooked, and we're now correcting the problem. So went to the parts store, got some new hose. We're gonna slap that together, get it back in working condition and ready to go for the next power outage, and also gather up everything that we need for it so that it's all together. Makes it easier next time. Okay, got the new hoses back on. Things looking good. Call this one a success. Take it back up, put it away for next time. I know I'm all over the place, but wanted to close the loop on this. This is that little bilge pump that I was talking about. That's 12 volt DC. Like I said, they're like 10, 12 bucks on Amazon. They come with threaded adapters, in, out, little homemade jumper piece there to connect to a hose. They work great. They come in size little small box. I think they're actually made for this one's specifically a solar circulation pump, but they're called bilge pumps. I believe they're used on boats to keep water out of certain areas, I guess. I'm not really 100% sure, but they come with these little leads. I cut them off, splice them together to my solar panel. In the past, I've also gotten a cheap laptop charger that puts out 12 volts DC. They work great too if you don't have solar panels. Quick and easy, cheap, cost-effective way to move water. Alright, one more loop being closed. Soaker hose here. Hooked it all up to the hose that's coming up. And what it does is just slowly builds up pressure, and then leaks dripping out of multiple spots. So it's really good to slowly disperse water across some area and slowly saturate it without creating a bunch of runoff. What do we got in here? Some Asian pears that I started from seed. They're growing pretty good. This is elderberry, dandelion, cool. We eat those, save them. This is some comfrey coming up. You in the South might know it as knitbone. So I use this as just kind of like a propagation bed. So all these little sprouts here are comfrey, and they're like 20% protein. So I feed them to my chickens. You can dry them up as like hay, if you will, like drying out tobacco leaves. So 20% protein, edible by humans and people. Comes back every year. Really easy to spread and grow. And for me, the deer love them. So not only growing plants for food, but also growing deer in a way. So, and feeding my chickens for free. Alright, just because I'm down checking on them. These are hazelnuts. Just checking on how they're growing. Yeah, pretty good. 5 foot tall. A couple of them aren't doing so hot. This one's, maybe a foot tall, but still alive. Coming back. Same thing. That guy's really doing pathetic, but he's still alive. And another one here. So the idea here is it's right along the road. I got currants down there across the front, and then a second row eventually will be of hazelnuts. Fat's probably one of the hardest things to find to grow in nature, so hazelnuts are a good source of that. Yeah, got some of those currants really coming back. There again, one of the first couple things that start showing signs of life early. Happy to see they're coming back. Another thing with the comfrey is I plant them out around all of my trees and fruit bushes as well, because they are so rich in protein, and you can cut them back years, 3 or 4 times a year, and use them as like a living mulch. They're really high in protein, nitrogen. They're a dynamic accumulator, which means they send their tap roots down 12 foot and mine up all the minerals that are deeper. So when they pull them up into the leaves, you can cut them back down to basically nothing and throw them around your fruit trees as a mulch, which is routinely what I do over and over again, just to mulch / fertilize. They can do them all. It's a very useful plant. It's also known as knitbone, and you can look up the medical uses for that, but it grows a bunch of, helps healing properties, has a lot of healing properties in it. You make comfrey salves. And so here's a good example of everything that I got growing in a tight space. So I got an apple right here, currant, daffodils, there's onions and garlic underneath there, blueberry right there, another apple, and then right behind me, this guy is another blueberry. There's a Haskap honeyberry right there, strawberries right below me, and then right above that one is a fig. I'm sorry, that's the fig. That's another currant back there. So all this is within, a 10-foot radius. And because they take different parts of the growing area, they can work with the different sunlight. So you got your apple as an overstory that are the tallest ones. You got your bushes, shrubs, ground layer, root layer. Really the only thing that's missing here is a vine, just because they're not big enough yet. But you could run grapes or hardy kiwi, muscadines, all kind of different things. In the spring here, what I like to do is I will put tomatoes at the base of them so that they grow up the trellises here, or peas or beans, and then they'll die off in the winter. With grapes and things like that, they'll strangle out the trees, so you got to be careful with that. But yeah, you can pack a lot of stuff in a small area. All right, generator's back. Bird's nest is still intact, so they can dive bomb you every time you come out of the house. Everything's good. On to the next thing, which is Starlink. We're going to take a look at that. As you can tell, I live where there's lots of trees, so having a clear view to the skyline is a challenge, but we're going to see if we can get it to work anyway. Surely it's better than the dial-up that I have now. So yeah, if this video sees the light of day relatively soon, well, then you'll know it worked. Editing the video here and realized that I made a couple mistakes. So I pulled out the original audio. I'm going to do my best to sync up the mail calls with what I'm talking about. Things seem to have calmed down a bit here. So let's get back inside here. I'm going to start with some mail calls. I apologize to everybody who sent me something. It has been a busy few days, so I'm really behind on these. First one here is from T-Bird. It is loaded. RuralStacker. T-Bird. Stacking, thank you. Everyone knows bird's the word. Yes, it is. Got the glitter sticker. 2 magnets. Those are awesome. We'll be putting them probably on our filing cabinet here at the desk. Another sticker. This is the translucent ones. These are sweet. Probably put them on the garage window. Be pretty cool. A new chip. I think I like the blue better. Let me know what you guys like. Blue or the red. Both are sharp, but I think I like the blue. Thank you, T-Bird. Thanks for your sticker, poker chip, and card. Thanks for your support. Here's my poker chip, 2 magnets, and some T-Bird swag. Well, thank you very much, T-Bird. Those are all go in the community box. Appreciate it. Next one here is from Mandy Lee Rain. Let's see what we got there. Beautiful scene. Looks similar to the road that I live on when everything's growing. So that's awesome. Set these off to the side. Hello, RuralStacker. Seen you just got your P.O. box set up. Be honored if you add my stickers to your collection. It's nice meeting you. Stack Big, Mandy Lee Rain. P.S. I see your P box is close to my family's hometown. Andy, I'll have to reach out to you on that. I do actually recognize the name. So that's pretty cool. Small world. These stickers are awesome. I love them. Thank you. And I will definitely be sending you out some swag as well. Now that I got your P.O. box, I appreciate that. The next one, I'm pretty sure I can tell who this is from just based on the tape job. So, get into it. Hey Rural, congrats on the giveaway win. It's a pretty nice little Balboa. I hope you enjoy it. Good luck on your steps program. Sounds like a lot of positive steps. See you in the streams in the future. Regards, FG. FG, that is an awesome coin. Thank you for giving that away. I appreciate it. Open it up here. Take a better look. I know for sure that it is my first Balboa because I do not have very many world coins. This is a first. It's awesome. Panama 1/10 Balboa, 1962. 90% silver. The next one here is this package from Mustard and Biscuits. Rural, please enjoy this completely average package. M&B. I have no idea what this is going to be, but it'll be completely average. It's a little running joke we got from making fun of Pang's small ammo can, or completely average sized ammo can, on Southeast Stacking and Collecting's lives Tuesday nights. If you're not watching them, you should be, because you're missing out. You'll never know what's going to be talked about, but I can guarantee it's always going to be a good time, plenty of laughs. Got a little wrapped up piece of something in here. Looks like a Tootsie Pop. Something else. That's jingling in there. What do we have? Little goodie bag. So Mercury Dime. I think he said he was going to send me one of these because I don't have one. So thank you, sir. That is my first and only Mercury Dime, 1943. I appreciate that. That'll go in the collection as well. Quarter. 1969 quarter. Couple Buffalo 5-cent pieces here. Those are awesome. Thank you, sir. I'm going to keep them separate, but they will go in the poucho. What do we got? Some pennies. So, Mustard sent me is 2 cents as well. 2025. I don't know much about 2025 pennies, but I think they're going to be collectibles one day. It's the last year that they were minted. So, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Those are going to be collected separately. Let's see what else is in this guy here. No way. These are awesome. This is 3D printed little buffalo. That is so cool. I love it. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab something. Yep, it's a tiny house, so I literally had to take 3 steps. So, my wife's friend's kids gave us these as well, because my wife loves animals. We have a bunch of chickens, and some of you may know my first name is Carrick, which often gets confused with carrot. So they got the chicken for my wife and the carrot for Carrick, which they sometimes call me Carrot. So this will definitely be joining the collection of these. I love it. They're awesome. I'm going to put them back on the shelf and see how long it takes my wife to notice this guy. I'll give you an update. But thanks, man. I love it. I appreciate it. All the mail calls and these little guys, the little buffalo there. That is awesome. FG, thanks for the giveaway. I'm still doing my 75 hard. I think I'm on day 26 or 27. It's 2 workouts a day. one outside, reading 10 pages nonfiction, drinking a gallon of water, and following a diet, all while still trying to train for the 100-mile ultra marathon. So thanks for the good wishes on that. Mandy, definitely going to get back to you with some swag. I appreciate you sending yours along. I'll get that back out to you. T-Bird, your stuff is awesome as well. Always like grabbing some swag from the community. So thank you all. And yeah, we'll pick up here in a bit with the rest of the stuff on the desk after I clean this up. Okay, one of the things that Mustard and Biscuits was talking to me about was good old-fashioned Palmetto State Armory. I've heard of them, I've heard of their stuff, didn't know anything about their quality or anything like that, and he had convinced me that I should check them out. So 3 or 4 orders later, who's counting? A couple things I picked up was this Spark AR red dot. Wanted to get a red dot for the old 44 mag with the Buffalo nickels on there. So picked that up, got it. We'll be taking this out, sighting it in, giving it a good test drive, see if we're going to move that forward or backwards, or if it's fine where I like it. Seems to be okay now, but you never know until we start shooting it. So that's one of the things we got, and yeah, happy to have that on this little lever action 44. Can't beat it. On to the next one. The next thing we got from Palmetto, again, Mustard and Biscuits. You're going to owe my wife an apology. But got a spare 5.56 AR with 21 magazines. I think I bought 20 and it came with one. So 20 30-round mags. Also picked up 1,200 rounds of 5.56. So I got those magazines loaded up and put in just an average sized ammo can. This one will go stay hot. Did opt for the backup sights, so they got to sight them in, and yeah, it's on the to-do list as well this weekend. And for that, also picked up a little 1x6 red dot as well. The idea here is, slap it on there. Worst case scenario, knock it off. Got the backup sights because inevitably the batteries in this will die and I will forget it. So yeah, probably be taking that off and still have iron sights. So let me open this up, get her mounted up. We'll be right back. So this isn't a review channel and it's definitely not going to turn into one, but a couple of things right off the bat that I do want to say. I want to correct myself on saying the iron sights, if the batteries went dead in this, it is etched glass, so it doesn't need the battery. I wasn't aware of that. So that's a positive for that guy there, which is the Tango MSR. And then for this Spark one, not a huge fan of it, mainly because when these dust cover end caps come off, you can see they're still in the way. So that's pretty annoying. Gonna have to either probably just cut them, and if I ever need it, put them in my pocket if I have that kind of luxury, or if not, just throw them on the ground. But yeah, the fact that they don't get out of the way is pretty annoying. So we'll definitely be doing something about that. You can you can compare that to these that, you know, flip well up and out of the way. So, yeah. Another thing I'll complain about with the Sig Sauer, the threads were supposed to be to 25 foot-pounds, and I guess one sure way of making sure you don't over tighten that is to make sure your little Allen wrench that you send with people bends and twists. So that's what it should be. Nice and straight. Nice and crooked. So I'm going to guess that they're 25 foot-pounds. You know, it went click. So heard the click. Should be good there. Last little bit here. And this is more of a test for good old Jammies. See if he's still watching. I know you talked about the little James Bond gun, but this one here, super unreliable. But it's a 25 auto that literally fits in your hand. Super, super fun. Yeah. So that's a little test for Jammies if he's watching. Nobody tell him, okay? The last thing is got one thing that I've been trying out lately, and to some of you, this might be really common knowledge or you're already doing it in practice. But one of the things that I've really been trying to do is if a task or a problem pops up that can be solved within 5 minutes, no matter what I'm doing, I immediately go take care of that. And it's been phenomenal. I've been doing it for about a month now. And man, it's something I recommend everybody at least give a try. Because not only does it, help you not forget it, but it keeps you from, thinking about it. It lets you focus on more important tasks. You don't have a bunch of little, I don't want to say trivial tasks because sometimes they're super important, but a bunch of to-dos that are, floating around in your brain, taking up capacity. You just instantly knock them out if they're 5 minutes or less. And that has been awesome, just for a mental clarity and focus and energy, time spent kind of thing. As opposed to 20 things floating around in my head at any given time. If 5 of those are, tasks that I can knock out in 5 minutes or less, well, now I have 15 instead of 20, so that frees up a large percentage of, brain power. So that's something I've been doing. Not only those benefits there, but it also gives you starts building a habit of taking action and getting things done, whether you want to do them or not. So that skill in and of itself is also nice, as opposed to sitting on the couch. Oh, I got to take the garbage outside. Well, if that's less than 5 minutes, so I immediately get up and go do it, and that, builds a habit of, taking care of things, getting things done. Makes you super more effective. Also, just if it's not for you and it's, what my wife asked me to do something, takes our relationship to a whole nother level because, now she's grateful that I'm listening to her and doing the things that she asks, especially if it's little tasks, that can be knocked out quick. And it's some points in the husband category. So another thing that I picked up was this 33 round Glock mag. This will work well. I've had a few of them now. They work well in my little AR 9mm carbine. So that's sweet. This was on super sale at Palmetto as well, so I grabbed it. And yeah, so tomorrow is Sunday. I will be headed back to the coin show that I went to in February. I'm going to take advantage of the dip here. I'm going to see if the one dealer has some more of those vintage bars that I passed on last time. Pick them up. If nothing else, if there's no silver to be found, I'm sure I'll find 2 ounces for the Ultimate Silver Challenge 2 ounces for life. So I'll be getting that. And if that's the only 2 ounces that I find, or there's no vintage bars or anything like that, tickles my fancy, I'll probably just pick up the rest of it in gold. So either way, we're walking out with something. Gonna capitalize on the dip that we're seeing here. And hey, if it keeps going down, cool. I'm fine with it for the long term. If it goes back up, well, then that's a win for me, and we'll take it. But yeah, this one was a strange one. You know, just kind of started throwing in a little bit of everything. I know I've been a little absent lately, but figured why not just bring you along with the daily life of the RuralStacker. And yeah, you can see, I know this is 33 round mag, but man, these last couple are tight. So maybe we'll just stop at 32. Alright, give it a try. Nope, 32 it is. I swore it said 33. Yep, it does. 33. Guess you gotta be a real strong man to do that. That ain't me. So also, my buddy who I gave that army round, commemorative round to get him into stacking, I think he's officially in, because he is going to the coin show with me tomorrow as well. So that's awesome. Got about an hour drive from his house down there. Talk about silver, gold, whatever else comes up. I'll let you know if he gets something. If he does, I'll ask him if I can, film it, talk to him about it. If not, I'll show you what I got. And that's it. So everybody, have a wonderful day. And yeah, if this uploaded on Saturday, well, then my Starlink's working and it's way better than my dial-up. If it didn't upload on Saturday and you're seeing this some other day, well, Starlink didn't work out in the woods for me. So yeah, thanks everyone. Have a great day. I now have a P.O. Box, and you can write me at RuralStacker, P.O. Box 107, East Brady, PA, 16028 0107. I'll be looking forward to see what you got. Until next time, keep on stacking and have a great day. Please like and subscribe and share this video out to somebody who might find it interesting. I appreciate you. If you were wondering, I did grunt a little bit and got all 33 rounds in there. So, sorry for you guys that don't live in the United States anymore. We're allowed these. And there's no limit.